Okay, final week of power rankings, post week 18 power rankings. Of course, like and subscribe. Hope you enjoy. Got this playoffs coming up. Just so you know, next week's power rankings just gonna be the teams that made it. So yeah, like the Lions, they won't be in next week's video because there's kind of like really no point. Either way, guys, like and subscribe. Hope you enjoy. That's just the post week 18 power rankings. Final one. Let's go. And what's going on, guys? Last week of power rankings, of course. Let's get right into it. I'm going to scramble this up just to make it, I don't know, a little better. Randomizing it. Okay, this is the way they start. Falcons D tier, like I've said it all year. They've been decent, but they don't finish 7 and 10. They're about bad. They're not a good team. Lost the last game of the season 30-20 to a team that was obviously better than them. Honestly, they made the playoff. They could have made the playoffs. They stuck in there for as long as they could. I'm happy they did. Decent season for the Falcons. They're just not a good team. I mean, Texans honestly finished a lot better than most people expected. Davis Mills, keep him for this year. Next year, he proved it. I can literally show you stats. Okay, I'll show you. So 16 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, 66.8 completion, 6,664 yards. He started off pretty darn bad, I gotta admit, though. So, let's see. How many games did he start? Started 12 games. So, after the Cardinals loss, he didn't do anything. These numbers aren't great. 5 touchdowns. Let's see. 5 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. He was phenomenal the rest of the season. I think he was great, honestly. Threw for a lot of yards. He looked really good. He's been really good for the past couple. But towards the end of the season, he really started picking up. Looks like a good franchise quarterback. He's probably not going to be the best guy, but he's definitely good. You look at these numbers, they're pretty darn good. Definitely for a rookie quarterback on a bad team. So, that is not Davis Mills. They have Nick Lopez up the middle. D-line just built around Nick Lopez. Of course, get Kayvon Thibodeaux. They should get him. Or maybe Kayvon Thibodeaux, or they might get David Ojabo. There's a lot of good guys to go. You do still have Justin Reed. You have a good safety. You have a good corner, Desmond King even. They have They have a couple good pieces. Laremy Tunsil at tackle. Titus Howard. They still have some good players. They're just not talented. That's about it. Colts C tier. I mean, they're definitely a B tier team, but they played so inconsistent this whole season. And they lost to the Jaguars. You can't lose to the Jaguars. I'm sorry. The season was on the line. They lost their last 2 games. Winning in situations, they couldn't get it done. That's a C tier team in my opinion. They're not a D tier team. They're better than the Falcons, but man. Rams, oh gosh. I'll put them in A for this week. The fact that they blew a 17-0 lead just can't happen. I'm sorry. If you blow a 17-0 lead, it's just not gonna work. They're gonna have to play better than they did last week. They played a perfect first half, and if they played like that again, they would have blew out the 49ers. And they'd be the hottest team in the NFL coming into next week. Unfortunately, the 49ers are the most resilient team in the NFL, and they are very inconsistent. As a result, the Rams lost. At the Rams' best, they can win the Super Bowl. Kind of like the team they played last week. But they didn't look great. Gotta admit that. They gotta play better. That's why they're there. They're still a really good team. I hope they win the Super Bowl. They're my favorite team. I'm going to be rooting for them. I'm not doing my predictions for a reason because this team will probably be there, and I want to be a little bit realistic. Still think they will, but still. Bucks S tier. Until they lose a game, they haven't really played any good, really good teams for a little while. They lost to the Saints. That was their last loss. They have won 3 in a row, though, against bad teams. We'll see how they do against the Eagles in the playoffs. They got Tom Brady. You can't really bet against them. They made the playoffs, secured the 2 seed. They just gotta win. I think they have a decently smooth path to the championship round. They are home. They do have 2 home games. Tom should be happy. Just gotta worry about winning the games. Chargers C tier. I mean, Brandon Staley is not a good. He's not a great coach. I gotta admit that. He's not a terrible coach. He's a decent coach. He's not a great coach. You have Justin Herbert. He's the reason they went 9-8. They should have made the playoffs, but they didn't because their defense stunk it up in the game. And basically, yeah, Brandon Staley didn't do a good enough job. Raiders B tier. They're not an A tier team. The only way they're gonna get an A tier team is if they beat the Bengals, I guess. But this team is just an underdog. They've been an underdog the whole year. They got it done. They're in the playoffs. They've won 4 in a row. I thought they were done after week 14, that blowout loss to Kansas City, but they've shown me otherwise. They're a good team right now. They got to win, though. Washington, I mean, they're C tier. They beat a terrible team. Like, they did their job. Offense didn't look great, but whatever. They're done. Really up and down season for them. Jags got the number 1 pick. Obviously, they stink. They did beat the Colts, though, so yeah, that's good. Browns, C tier. I mean, they just had a disappointing season. It's really all I can really say. Baker stunk it up. Really still think they should keep him, though. There's not really many better options they'll get, honestly. You draft a quarterback, Baker's going to beat him out because he's just simply better. There's no quarterback in the draft that I'd be comfortable starting over Baker at this point. Ravens, C tier. I mean, like, they're just so injured, and they couldn't even beat the Steelers. Like, they ran the ball really well. They still couldn't beat the Steelers. You got to beat the Steelers. It's just how it works. Jets, F tier, like, they couldn't do anything against the Bills. Yeah, their defense honestly didn't play terrible, but their offense stunk it up. Chiefs, S tier, like, they're the only team I think that really, other than the fact, they're the team to beat in the AFC. They are the one team in the AFC that I trust to win the Super Bowl, really. Because they're not that inconsistent. 49ers, I'm putting them in A tier. The fact that they came back and beat the Rams shocked me. That's about it. I was blown away. Jimmy Garoppolo, yeah, I know he's a clutch quarterback. I know he can do it. But it's Jimmy Garoppolo. Like, I don't trust him. Even if he can do it, I trust Matt Stafford more to do that. Matt Stafford did not play well in that second half. 49ers are a resilient squad. I said it in the recap yesterday. They will blow out the Cowboys if the Cowboys don't come to play, which they probably won't because they're the Cowboys. And it's really hard beating the 49ers. I don't know how in the world the Titans do. Well, I kind of did. Titans just scored points the whole game. They were consistent. Their defense played really well. The Rams couldn't stop the run. You can't stop the run against 49ers. Good luck. Saints, C tier. They're not B tier. They beat the Falcons. I really don't know what else to say. They probably should have been in the playoffs. Even if they were, I wouldn't have put them in B. They're not as good as the Raiders. They played decent season. Great season for Sean Payton considering how injured they got. But just a up and down season to say the least. Giants, F tier. They have the worst offense in the NFL at this current point. If they had everyone healthy, they would not have the worst offense in the NFL. I think they'd still be a terrible offense, but they look terrible. I don't really need to say anything else. Cowboys, S tier. They're the one team that I think anyone can blow out. Like any of the Niners, I honestly think will blow them out. Just for the fact that I haven't seen the Cowboys really play that physical at all this season. Especially defensively. Offensively, haven't seen that since like week 4. Week 4 was the last week I've really seen good physical play by the Cowboys offense. That doesn't mean that 49ers are going to beat the Cowboys. I really think they will blow them out, though. That's my big prediction. They're better than the Cowboys are better than the Rams and the 49ers. Not just because they're a higher seed, but they won. They won. Like, the 49ers are not up here. Like, they've been really inconsistent. The Rams are here because they lost, and I'm not comfortable putting them up here considering how they played. Are they going to play like that? Absolutely not. Sean McVay won't allow that. I'm just sorry. If he does, he should get fired. Well, he's not going to get fired, but the Rams need to win. They need to win the Super Bowl this year. That's about it. Eagles, I'll put them in B tier. They're going to get blown out in the first round, though. Here's why they're there. They have a powerful running game, and their defense doesn't give up big plays. When you have those two components, a good chance you'll win a lot of games. And they have. They won 9 games with a pretty darn bad roster. Yeah, roster-wise, they're right around here, but considering how they play and the physicality they bring sometimes, they're B tier. Bengals, like B tier, their defense is pretty darn inconsistent. Their run defense is honestly pretty shaky. You watch them, there's some plays that could be touchdowns, but they have some guys that make big plays. Yeah, could they be here? Yeah, I just don't think they're as good as the 49ers or the Rams. They're still a great team, like Joe Burrow, Joe Mixon, Tyler Boyd, T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, like 4 superstar position players. It's skill positions, so like you get that, but I'm not comfortable putting him in A right now. Dolphins, B tier, like, Brian Flores get fired for no reason. It's kind of like the Jim Caldwell thing. I think it's going to absolutely backfire on the Dolphins. They're going to struggle the next couple of years. Not because of Tua, just for the fact they won't have a good head coach. Unless they hire, like, I don't know. I really don't know. But, yeah. Dolphins ended the season on a good note. Their defense looked great. 2 out of bounce back game. I still think they're a decent team. Steelers, they're C tier. They're the most average team you could think of. Their defense can be up here, or it could be just about average. Their offense could be down here, or they could be just about F. They can be so bad and then here. But they're, right here, in my opinion, they're C tier. Broncos, C tier also. Like, they play a lot of close games. They deserve to win these games, but they lose them because they're the Broncos. That's the reason they want a new head coach, which I'm fine with. Vic Fangio is not a bad coach. You just can't win. Titans, no, they're not S tier. They're A tier. They almost lost to the, yeah, I'm saying it. Their defense needs to play a lot better. They're Texans. They almost lost to the Texans. You can't have that. They are not the deserving 1 seed. They did win some games because Ryan Tannehill was a very good quarterback. You could honestly argue top 7 for him. He's definitely top 10. He didn't have a great season statistically, but he won the darn games. Honestly, this team could go all the way. They have the 1 seed. The NFC, the playoffs go through Tennessee. AFC playoffs go through Tennessee. So let's see. Packers won. Yeah, I don't really care. They lost to the Lions. It was kind of like whatever. They're the 1 seed. They're the team to beat in the NFC. Honestly, there's only a couple teams I really think have a shot. The Rams and the 49ers are the 2 teams I really think can, because when they can both run the ball and get their offenses going, it's hard to beat them. Packers, same thing though. Packers are the team to beat though. NFC goes through Lambeau. Let's see if any team has a chance of beating them. Like the Bucks could too. Lions F tier. Like yeah, good job you won. You still stink. Vikings, C tier. Like, they're just about average. They beat a team they're better than. That's really about it. Speaking of the Bears, they're D tier. They're not as bad as the Lions, Jets, Giants, and Texans, but they're still pretty darn bad. I mean, their coach just got fired. They're looking like a mess. That's about it. Panthers, D tier. Like, their offense honestly didn't look that bad. They just had a mess of a year. They're not F tier. They're not as bad as these teams. They beat them. They just didn't really exactly play them. They lost 7 straight. I just never really saw the Panthers and thought they were really that bad. They were bad, but they weren't that bad. Cardinals, B tier. They're the best B tier team. They could blow out the Rams for all I know. They're playing the Rams on Wild Card Week on Monday night. Let's see how that thing goes. But if anything, I know this team, they're dangerous, even if they're not coming in hot. Bills, A tier. No, you know what? They don't know. They don't. Yeah, you know what? Who did they beat? Oh, okay, yeah, I'll put them in S. This is the most underrated or sleeper team coming in the playoffs. Everyone's like, well, they're pretty inconsistent. Well, to be honest, this team is a good chance they're going to have to go into KC, and I honestly think they could beat them. They're playing the Patriots in the wild card, though, so we'll see how that goes. But right now, they're one of the best teams in the NFL, in my opinion. They're really underrated. Patriots, A tier. Like, they're just really solid. Yeah, I get they lost to the Dolphins, but their defense was not great. Their offense wasn't great. It's still I can't say no to the Patriots in the playoffs. Bill Belichick's a little ticked off. Let's see how they can play against the Bills. Seahawks, D tier. Disappointing season. They're not, honestly, they probably should be in C tier, but I didn't really see, yeah, you know what? They go in C tier. They beat the, yeah, they went into the Arizona and beat the Cardinals for the Rams. Good for them, though. I hope Russ is best of luck for the future, as long as he doesn't win the NFC West next year. But disappointing year for the Seahawks. They ended on, I guess, a high note. But either way, guys, like and subscribe. That's me into the Week 18 post-Week 18 power rankings. Packers, of course, are number 1. We have the Super Wildcard Weekend power rankings coming most likely probably next Wednesday, Tuesday, one of the two. But yeah, playoffs start on Saturday at 4:30 at NBC. Raiders, Bengals. We'll get into that on Friday. But either way, guys, that's the end of the post-Week 18 power rankings. Last one for 32. What is it? 18 of the NFL teams. The rest we'll do, of course, for Wildcard Weekend. Either way, guys, like I said, I hope you enjoyed. That's the end of the post-Week 18 power rankings.